Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
It's so easy for other drivers to be cavalier about a bus and not realize how vital that is to the safety of our children in our neighborhoods, that they obey those traffic laws.
It's a worry among parents everywhere, hoping that their kids will be safe getting to and from school.
As we reported last night, the fines for violating traffic laws around buses will increase from $300 to $500 starting next month for Minnesotans. In Moorhead, police will have help enforcing the laws thanks to cameras on the outside of school buses.
But Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker introduces you to a mom who says the desire to keep kids safe, not the hefty fine, should make you want to follow the law.
We need to problem solve, not fighting. Yeah, mom will help you.
Like most moms, Chief Problem Solver is one of Angela Elmendorf's many titles. But as she gets ready to send her kids off to school, she knows she won't be able to solve all their problems.
As a mother of a deaf child, I really am concerned about her well-being, and you know, I work with her to always stop and look first, left and right. But if other people aren't obeying the traffic laws, then that puts her in jeopardy.
Drivers who choose to speed around buses now face the chance of getting caught on camera. Depending on where you live, cameras may be on the outside of the buses in your neighborhood. But Elmendorf believes understanding the human side to the issue of violating bus laws is much more important than trying to avoid a hefty fine.
If people think, oh, I'm just running a stop sign, or I'm just going to make a quick maneuver, and they would assume, oh, everyone's hearing, you don't think you're going to run into a deaf child. But there are situations like that, and it can end in death or severe injury. Hello, how are you? Would you like your hat?
As the school year gets closer, Elmendorf says everyone should keep this in mind when you're out on the road with school buses.
I think it's vital that we, focus on our environment and respecting other people that we're sharing space with, especially the children.
In Moorhead, Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
As a reminder to drivers that this school year in Minnesota, you'll face a $500 fine for breaking school bus laws. It could go as high as $3,000 depending on what law you break. In North Dakota, the fine is $100 and points off of your driver's license. If you're under the age of 18, you'll lose that license.
A North Dakota man has pleaded not guilty to a long list of charges, including 4 felonies, after authorities say he tried to kill a Rolette County deputy in February. Michael Marion of Dunseith is pleading not guilty to felony charges of attempted murder, drug possession, and escape, among other charges. Authorities say a deputy was trying to arrest Marion after a chase, and in the struggle, Marion supposedly grabbed the officer's gun, pointed it at him, and fired 2 shots. Nobody was hit, but police say Marion broke 3 of the deputy's ribs and hit him in the face with brass knuckles. Marion is due back in court in February.
The upheaval at the White House continues. The latest involves the president's chief of staff.
Seth Lemon has more on the latest White House personnel move.
The latest West Wing shakeup came in a tweet, with the president announcing Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly as his new chief of staff. Speaking to reporters at Joint Base Andrews, Mr. Trump praised both men.
Reince is a good man. John Kelly will do a fantastic job.
Tonight, Priebus told CNN that no one forced him out, including the president.
He obviously wanted to make a change, and I offered my resignation, and he agreed.
The president appears to be moving ahead with a much anticipated overhaul of his senior staff. Last week, Press Secretary Sean Spicer stepped down after Anthony Scaramucci was named communications director. Yesterday, the New Yorker published a story in which Scaramucci railed against Priebus, calling him paranoid and predicting he would soon resign.
I'm not going to respond to it. I'm not going to get into the mud.
Priebus said he will stay on for a while to help General Kelly transition into his new job, which he starts on Monday. Seth Lemon for CBS News, the White House.
Deputy Secretary Elaine Duke will serve as acting Homeland Security Secretary until a replacement is confirmed.
Nearly 800 complaints of carbon monoxide entering the passenger area of Ford Explorers has prompted a national investigation. And here in the Valley, at least 3 sheriff's deputies have been sickened by these vehicles. The Cass County Sheriff's Office tells us last summer a deputy was out on patrol, started feeling nauseous, and was able to get out of the vehicle without any lasting problems. They pulled it out of their fleet of 23 Ford Interceptor SUVs, finding out that this had happened twice before. Our investigation found that these vehicles to be very popular among law enforcement here in the Valley. Fargo Police having 30 of them, Moorhead having 11. Rural departments use them too. The four-wheel drive welcomes among the rough terrain and harsh winters here. But all of the risks associated with wearing the badge, it's hard to believe it's their office that could be putting officers at risk.
The last thing you want to think about is your welfare based off the fact when you're sitting in your office. We ask our guys to be in these cars at a minimum 40 hours a week. It is their livelihood, it is their office, it's their complete existence when it comes to their profession.
Civilian models are also affected too. Federal agencies saying their investigation into potential exhaust manifold problems could impact more than 1.3 million Ford Explorers.
Each day, more than 3,100 people are waiting to get the call that to them could mean a life-saving heart transplant. But that call can take months or even years.
And while a Fargo woman waits for her new heart, she's getting some help from family, friends, and a high-tech device. Valley News Team's Molly Casey explains.
From a distance, Sarah Tolley looks happy and healthy. But if you take a closer look at what she's wearing, what looks to be an accessory is actually something much more vital.
It's called an LVAD, and it assists the pumping of the heart.
She wears it everywhere, even to bed. It all started in 2006 when she thought she had pneumonia.
But then they did a chest x-ray, and my heart was ribcage to ribcage.
Tolley was diagnosed with dilated cardiomyopathy, or heart failure. And earlier this year, she found herself in the hospital.
I was sedated for like 20 days.
That was, really nerve-wracking.
Tolley's husband, Aaron, stayed close by her side, but it wasn't easy.
It's tough to, see her struggle like that, and absolutely nothing I can do about it personally.
That stay resulted in the LVAD machine. Tolley was also put on the heart transplant list. But the wait is up to 4 years, and it can only be done at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester.
I have 4 hours to get there, so I have to take one of the the helicopters.
The couple says they've gotten by with the support of family and friends, and with some high-tech help of the LVAD machine.
So I run on batteries.
From Fargo, Molly Casey, Valley News Live.
Telly adds that she could get a heart transplant sooner than previously thought. Because of her small size, she may be able to receive a child's heart.
Another well-known restaurant in Fargo will be closing. The doors will shut in a couple of months at the Green Mill at 3340 13th Avenue South. Fargo City planners tell us that a name change for that location was filed today for the Crooked Pint Ale House. That same transition is occurring at the former Green Mill located at 1930 South Columbia Road in Grand Forks. Once the renovation is done in Grand Forks, crews will start work in Fargo.
And construction on the new Chick-fil-A in Fargo will get underway next week. But first, the building currently standing in its place must come down. A spokesperson for the City Planning Commission says that a demolition permit was issued for the old TGI Fridays location at 4100 13th Avenue South Tuesday. Meanwhile, work on the Grand Forks Chick-fil-A is 80% done, that according to the contractor.
A Minnesota family discovered 30,000 bees in the roof of their home. The family was in the process of remodeling the siding of their home when they found the infestation. The bees have produced about 10 pounds of honey in that roof. The family knew that bee populations are endangered, so they brought in a beekeeper to transfer the honeybees to a sanctuary.